Alright guys, you spent all this time working on your video and now it's time for the big render. It's finally that time to put your video into one clip so that you can post it online, share it with your friends, and enjoy the sweet success of all your hard work. But the first thing we really need to do is make sure that our project is finished, that it looks good. And so, as I look at this project, there's a couple problems that I see with it. I don't like a video starting out with a frame that already has a picture in it. If you go to the movie theaters, the first frame you always see, it's a black screen. So that's what we need to do. So to do this, I'm just going to lasso all of my clips, my audio, and my titles, and just slide it over just a little bit. All right. So now we can start off with a little bit of black space, and we can begin our video. So, couple things that I'm noticing right now, just that make this a little bit better. My establishing shot here, it's going outside of my safety box. So if I pull up my title, I can see that the establishing is out of the box. So I'm just going to slide this over and make sure that stays in the box. And it could be anywhere as long as it stays in the box. So that I'm happy with. I'm just going to exit out, and automatically it updates on the screen. Going through, everything else seems to look pretty good. All right, so at the end, I don't want to end my video with the video just going to black and the audio going out at the same time. That looks and sounds bad. So I'm going to extend my audio just a little bit. And I'm going to go into my effects panel. If you don't know how to find your effects panel, what you can do is you can slide over with this tiny, thin, narrow bar and look for effects. If it's not there, you can't find it, you can go up to Window up here and click on Effects, make sure there's a check mark, and when you do that, it should pop up somewhere on the screen and you can go into your effects. So I'm just going to go into my audio transitions because I want to make a transition of my audio. So I click the triangle to go down, and I click down on crossfade, and there's three choices. I think the best one's constant power. So we're going to click on constant power, click and hold, and I'm going to drag it over and bring it to the end of my audio of the song. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm just going to zoom in by pressing the plus button on my keyboard, and I just want to hear what it sounds like. All right, so maybe I will have it fade a little bit longer, and I can just go to the bottom, and I can go to the constant power, and I can drag the fade, or I can make it shorter. Either one, but I'm going to drag it to make the fade a little bit longer. Yeah, I like the way that sounds. I'm also noticing that the audio is not even on side of our audio 1, so I'm going to click it here to make sure that I can hear my audio. I really like the way natural audio sounds. I know a lot of videos, people will turn this off so they don't have to worry about it, but I really do think it adds to your video. It adds another dimension to it. So I'm going to leave that on, and I might just for argument's sake, I'll drag another constant power fade at the end of my video for the audio 1, just so that has a nice way of ending the film. All right, I like that. All right, and another mistake that I'm noticing is that we're getting these red bars, and that's telling us our audio is too loud. And I don't really think it's my music that's too loud. I think it's these two little clips that are coming in from my audio from my video. So I'm going to lower them by zooming in a little bit, and I'm just going to take these yellow bars, and I can extend this so I can see a little bit better. There, I like that. And you can see right here, this is the culprit. That's causing my levels to spike. So I'm just going to take my yellow bar, and I'm going to slide this down just a little bit. And then listen to it again. Perfect. So that has no impact. We fixed it. We're not going to have any clipping in our audio, which is perfect. What we're going to do is now I'm going to look up here, and this is called my work area bar. Actually, let me zoom out a little bit. And you know, there's a work area bar, and yours might look like this. Yours might be super long, like this. Or it could be somewhere just in the middle of the video, like this. Okay, so what do we do? What's the point of this? Well, This is going to tell Premiere what you want your video to start and when you want your video to end. I want my video to begin somewhere around here. I like it right here, so we start off with a black screen, and then 5-6 frames later, we get into our video. Okay, I like that. I'm going to do the same thing for the end. I'm going to put the end of my work area bar, and I want it to be maybe just a little bit after my song ends, just so that the music's over and we fade to black. Always want your videos to begin with a black frame and always end on a black frame. Okay, great. So now this looks good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make sure that my timeline has the yellow bar around it. That way I know that this is the screen that's active. I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to Export, and then I'm going to go to Media. And this screen should pop up. Now, if by chance this is not highlighted, there is no yellow bar, so if I highlight, let's say, the source monitor or the program monitor or even the project monitor, and I go to File, go to Export, Media will be grayed out. You cannot select it. I'm clicking all I want. Nothing's ever going to happen because there is no media that I'm going to render from the project panel. It's only from the timeline. So I'm going to select the timeline again, make sure that I got my yellow bars around it, go to File, go to Export, go to Media. Great. Okay, so now I'm going to change my format. I want my format to be H.264. In this case, it's already selected. Sometimes it's not always selected. Usually the default goes to AVI. So if that's the case, go to H.264, not H.264 Blu-ray. Click on that. And our preset, since we are going to upload this onto a Google site and Google owns YouTube, let's just use the YouTube preset. So I'm just going to quickly hit the Y button on my keyboard, and by pressing Y, it's automatically going to take me to the bottom and go to the automatic YouTube presets. Now there is an awful lot of YouTube presets, but we want to use the first one because the first one is high definition, which we want. It's at 1080p, which is the resolution we want, and 23.976. This is the frame rate we want. So it's the first one. This is easy to remember. So I'm going to click on that. And now I want to change my output name. I don't want it to be called Sequence 01. I want it to be named after my project. So I'm going to name this after myself, Matt.Sella. And the name of the project is, we call this one 10 Shots. Okay, and what I really want to do is save this onto my desktop. So make sure it's on the desktop before you save it. This is unlike anything else I've told you. In the past, I've always told you, go into your Video Club portal, go to the class, find your name, and find the project, and save the project in here. But in this case, I don't want you to do that, mainly because our network will not be able to handle your rendering. So we're going to go to the desktop and save it in here. Got my name, got the name of the project, I'm good, I hit save. Then I get a choice. I can hit Q or I can hit export. If I hit export, it's automatically going to export my video right onto the computer. And it will lock the computer. I won't be able to do anything else. But if I hit Q, I should be getting a screen called the Adobe Media Encoder. And this is what it should look like. Now, it might have previous videos that I rendered, and down over here on the right-hand side, you can see it says done. If it gets crossed out and you see this, all you have to do is go slide over to the bar on the right-hand side. Make sure you get this little icon with the 2 arrows pointing left and right, and slide this over and take a look and notice, okay, these videos are done. So I'm just going to click on this sequence, hit delete. Yes, that's fine. I'm going to click on this sequence, hit delete. Yes. And this is the video that I'm working on. It's an H.264 YouTube HD 1080p 23.976, and we're saving it on the desktop and calling it matt.sella.10shots, and it's ready to go. To render it out, you just hit this green play button on the top right. I click that, and I'm done. It's rendering the video. Now, it might be long. It might be short. It depends on how many effects you have in your video, and it also depends on how long your video is. So for the sake of argument, we're just going to wait for this to completely render out. Okay, so our video just finished, And since I saved it on my desktop, I'm just going to hit the Windows button on my keyboard and D, and it automatically takes me to my desktop. And my video should be right down here, Matt Sella, 10 shots. And I'm going to watch the video. I find this is a huge problem with some of my students. They don't watch their video. They think, oh, well, I watched it in Premiere. When I put it on Premiere and I watched it through the preview window under the program monitor, it looked good. It played. This is great. This is wonderful. It's fine. But Premiere doesn't always translate well when you're encoding it. Sometimes you render it and it's going to make mistakes. Trust me, it has happened. And you will look very foolish by turning in a video that it might have all black video, it might have a mistake in there, and it's really your fault because you never watched your final film. So I'm going to double click on this and I'm going to watch my film. Alright, so I just finished watching the video. It was only 36 or 35 seconds and I'm happy with it. It looks good to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it from my desktop. I'm going to open up my Video Club portal folder, find my class, find me, find the name of the project, and I'm going to drag and drop the video inside of my folder. Now, I've already done this before, so I don't want to drop it here, but when I drop it, my video will appear here, and now it is saved on the network, which does get backed up, so it won't get lost. So what's really nice is that I'm done with this video down here. So all I have to do now is just hit the delete button, and it's gone. I want to keep a nice, clean desktop for myself. And as you can see, my desktop isn't as clean, but it could be worked on. But for you guys, keep it clean always, and everything gets saved in your portal folder, except when you're rendering videos. Then you're going to transfer it into your portal folder when you're done. And that's it. That's how you render a video.